So you want to become an Amazon seller and you want to register your account on the biggest Amazon marketplace in the world, Amazon.com. You're going to quickly discover that it's not as easy as you thought, especially if you are a non-US based seller. If you want to learn exactly what you need to do in order to open your account on Amazon.com, if you are not living in the US, then this is the video for you. If this is your first time watching a video on this channel, hi, my name is Crystal. I'm an Amazon seller and I'm the founder of Amazon Sellers Society. We help brands, businesses, entrepreneurs, individuals sell successfully on Amazon, especially in the Middle East. You want to expand your business beyond Amazon in the Middle East, or you want to sell in the biggest Amazon platform, which is Amazon.com. If you try to register your account as a non-US based seller, you're going to discover that you need a tax number, you need an address, you need a bank account, all of which you're probably not able to provide. And sometimes even you don't reside or you don't come from a country that is approved to register on Amazon.com, and that's a hurdle in and of itself. In this video, you're going to discover Clemta.com. Clemta.com is a company, it's a web-based system or software that can help you incorporate your company in the US, either as an LLC or as a C Corp, and be able to use that company in order to open your account on Amazon.com. If you want to use the services of Clemta.com, I have a special discount code for you, and it's ASELLERSSOCIETY, and you'll be able to get 20% discount. That's a very generous discount. Thank you so much, Clemta.com. But if you want to learn all the information about Clemta.com, let's jump into my interview with Erdem Mumtaz and James Richard from Clemta.com. So guys, thank you so much for being on the channel, and thank you so much for the amount of information that you're going to be providing on this video. Let me first start off with the most important question, I guess. What is Clemta? How did you create it? When did you create it? And what services do you provide?
So Clemta is a service that sets up your business in the United States. Technically, there are more than 20 types of business structures you can pick in the United States. Mm-hmm. However, with Clemta, since you're dealing with international clients, you can set up either a limited liability company or a C Corp. So when did we start Clemta? At the end of 2016, we had the idea of Clemta, and by the end of that year, we were able to get it online with our version 0. Mm-hmm. Now we're improving really fast and we have a really good volume of clients. Now we're working with clients over 150 countries in the world, so we're growing big.
The important thing to note is that you come from a law background, so it's not like a business background. So you know the law quite well. So let's jump straight into what you just said. So LLC, C Corp, what exactly is the difference? Because I think most people just know what a limited liability company is, what an LLC is. So what's the difference for somebody who wants to set up a business mainly in the US to be able to sell on Amazon.com?
By the way, just to mention, we're both lawyers.
Yes, I know.
The records. Yeah. So an LLC is a company that you become a member of. So in a C Corp, technically, you own the company owns itself. And after a while, you can pass on these shares on to owners by either buying them or vesting them. We'll talk about those later. But in a limited liability company, you become a member of the company. So if anything happens about the company, you can be getting sued personally. Your assets can be seized. You can be in trouble if you have any problems in a limited liability company. But on a corporation, it's a different entity. So you, me, Mumtaz, we come together, we form a C Corp. That's a different entity that we put shares in. And after a while, if we want to buy those shares, we can operate. If we get sued, that's the company getting sued. If the assets are seized, the company's assets are seized, we're safe in our homes. That's the main difference.
That's a very big difference. Also, because a lot of sellers, when they do start out on Amazon, don't realize they can actually get to a certain point where they can sell their company or sell shares in their company, because essentially we're creating brands on Amazon, and you know, that's a very important part of Amazon. Mumtaz, so as a person who wants to sell on Amazon, what do you require other than having an LLC or a C Corp? What additional things do you require? And obviously, we know we need an EIN and we need a bank account. And how can Clemta facilitate all of those? Do you guys facilitate all of those?
Of course we do. You made a certain important point. If you go big, you have to go with a corporation, a C Corp, because you want to improve your brand. It's will be open to have an investment, and it's really easy to sell after a certain point. And it makes sense in terms of taxation when you sell it as well. So it's better to go big with your corporation. After you incorporate your company, you have to have your EIN numbers. It's basically employer identification numbers, but you can see it as a taxpayer ID in terms of United States. It's not like really, it makes some sense in employment, but it comes to a point where you pay your taxes on your EIN. Afterwards, you do your post-incorporation stuff, because when you incorporate your company, you just say that James is the owner of the company. He have those kinds of shares, and the company will go like this, basically. It's a 1-pager or 2-pager, so you have lots of things to figure out, like if you're going to limit the liability of your founders, who will be in charge, who will be the directors, what they'll be doing in the company, and so you have to configure your company in terms of other stuff. So basically, you incorporate your company, you get your EIN, and you do all your post-incorporation stuff. Then you need your bank account. Then you're ready to go with all on Amazon.com.
A bank account is a big issue for a lot of people. So you're able to help with setting up a bank account without me having to travel to the US, or can you just tell us a little bit about that?
Of course, there's a law called Patriot Act in the United States. Basically, it tries to prevent the terrorism all around the world. So they made a rule called Know Your Customer rule, which is basically, if you're going to a bank as an officer, you have to see the person in the face. That's why in many years, people have really problem to have a bank account in the United States without traveling them. Thanks to digitalization, there are some banks doing online jobs, and they're just real solid banks. By them, you can just open your bank account without traveling them. So you'll be fine without traveling United States nowadays.
But it's obviously you can do that because you already have a company. You've already created a company in the US, so you're able to do that. What about an address, James? So obviously we need an address in order to open a company and in order to open an account on Amazon.com. And I know you have something different about how you are able to provide an address.
So there are 2 types of addresses, actually 3 types of addresses you can get in the United States nowadays. First one is a PO box. That's technically an address that you can go on Google, look it up, it's there. But once you go onto street, it's just a PO box. It's either a big apartment that you have a small box in it, or it's a, I don't know, it's a sketchy place that you got a small space in. So once you have a PO box, either Amazon or the United States can figure out that it's a PO box. They have a chance to do that. Yeah. But if it's a virtual address or a street address, it's actually harder to figure out. But even with the virtual address, both government and Amazon can figure out that you have a virtual address. So the only option that I would suggest for Amazon users, or potentially any user in the United States, to get an actual street address. And as Clemta, we actually provide that for our customers.
Okay, perfect. So an actual street address, which would reduce a lot the possibility of getting your account not approved by Amazon.
Yes.
So that's what we're trying to do, to get the correct information from the beginning in order to not get rejected. Now, a very important thing is, obviously, a lot of people might wonder, how long do these things take? Like, how long does it take to incorporate? How long does it take to get an EIN number? Because some things are related to you as a company, as Clemta, and some things are not. They're related to the IRS, especially the tax information.
Of course, thanks to Clemta, we have a machine learning based algorithm that really helps us to make things faster in terms of documentation. So Clemta is like without any problems doing your paperwork for you. So all the time just takes about government or IRS. So we submit your documents in a day after you just signed Clemta. It takes almost 24 to 48 hours to incorporate your company. Then we just register for the EIN. For IRS, it takes 45 business days. But normally it's around a week or so. But due to pandemic, IRS just lots of burdens on their shoulders. They're just giving the COVID monies and other stuff. So they're really heavy on work. So nowadays it takes around 3 weeks or so, but legally they have 45 business days.
Okay, perfect. That's not a very long time, but normally it doesn't take that long, but who knows now? But normally what they say is 45 days. Yes, sure.
But if your client or anyone has an SSN number from either work and travel or any type of day that they want to US, they stay there for more than 6 months, they worked for someone, we can get everything done in a matter of a week, even right now. So
yeah, I understand. So that's very important, because it's important to note that you guys, as busy as you get, you have a system in place where everything is machine based. So you're able to get those documents that are necessary out quickly, but it's a government thing, and it's probably going to take a maximum of 45 days. So something that I want to talk about, I'm a very positive person and you guys are, but this is business at the end. So let's say I do create either my C Corp or my LLC. And after a few months, I say, okay, you know what? This is not what I wanted. This is not what I expected. Or maybe even after a year, who knows? Is there a plan B? Is there a way to dissolve the company and just, forget about it? And I know you do have that service. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Of course, actually in the United States, it's easier than anywhere in the world to dissolve your company. Really, it takes a week or so, sometimes 15 days, but you can dissolve your company easily. If you didn't really mess it up, you can just close it in a week or so. So, for example, in MENA region, sometimes it takes a year to dissolve your company. For example, in Turkey, it takes 2 years legally to close it. So when you compare it, it's really easy to open it and easy to dissolve it. Sometimes people just create 6-month companies in the United States with Clemta. They open it for a special purpose and they dissolve it afterwards. So it's really easy to dissolve it when things either go really well as you expected, or you just want to dissolve it.
Let's talk a little bit, James, about taxes. Obviously, this is probably for anybody who lives in the UAE, taxes is not a big issue because we don't have these issues a lot. But, one of the things that you need to watch out for when you do have an LLC or a C Corp is that there are taxes and you're going to pay taxes. So can you give us a small idea about taxes and how much they cost and all of that?
No, of course. Let me start with what's the difference between taxation in a C Corp and an LLC.
Sure.
So once you have a C Corp, since you created a different identity, that identity gets taxed before you get taxed. So that's what we call double taxation. What I mean by that. So let's say you and I, we created a C Corp, we were doing business on Amazon, and we made $1 million this year. On that $1 million, we're getting taxed 20% on corporate base. So our corporation gets taxed because we made $1 million. So that goes down to $800,000. After, if we want to share that $800,000 with you, we're getting 37% taxed each. for getting that money out of our company and getting into our bank accounts. So that's what we call double taxation: corporate level, personal level, income tax. In an LLC, you get taxed only for your income. So there's no corporation, there's no other different entity. You get taxed only when you make money and you want to put it in your bank account. So that's the beneficial side of owning an LLC. But it's also risky.
Also, we have two tax systems. One is Delaware taxation, and the second is governmental taxation. So first, you're going to pay a tax to Delaware, which is called franchise tax. It's a fixed fee. That's this year it's $400 for C corps, $300 for LLCs. After that, this is what James told. You're going to be taxed based on your income.
And does Clemta at the moment help with the taxes, or are you working on that, having a system where you can help also people who incorporate with you for payment of taxes?
Nowadays, we work with lots of CPAs, but we're trying to integrate them with our system because they not really usual to make automatic stuff with machine learning and AI. So we're trying to, let's say, digitalize them to in needs of Clemta because they can't really keep up with our pace nowadays. We are trying to figure out a way to make a system that everyone can just pay a monthly fee and get rid of all taxation and CPA stuff. It's coming in soon.
Okay.
So if you ever did taxes in the United States, it's usually a pain. You have to get your paperwork, you have to fill it, you have to submit it to government, you have to double check with the CPA so you don't get into legal trouble. What we're trying to do with our algorithm, you will be able to get on our website, go to CPA section, do your either bookkeeping or tax filing. In a matter of days, we'll submit it and done. And that's what we're trying to do. It's on our progress level, so sooner or later you will see it on Clemta.
Otherwise, it's just like black forms. You're going to fill it out and fax it, and fax coming back. We're trying to digitalize everything.
Yeah. If you want to learn more information about how the procedure works with Clemta.com, what the expenses are, all you need to do is to go to Clemta.com, and please do use my code, my special code, ASELLERSSOCIETY, because you'll be able to get 20% off all of their services. I'll see you in another video with more information. Bye.